Hello students, in this video we are going to do the revision questions of your chapter 2 of history, that is growth of Indian nationalism. In the previous module, in the previous session, we did question answers of the first chapter, that was revolt of 1857. I hope you must have copied them down. Please do copy the questions which we are doing now, because they are going to be of much help for you when you will be doing the revision, so that you have a better understanding of the chapters. So beginning with chapter 2, growth of nationalism, please go through this video along with your register and pen in your hands, and you can just play and pause and note down all the question answers in your registers for better learning and practice and preparation of the boards. Here, chapter number 1 for this chapter, question number 1 for this chapter is: state how better means of transport and communication fostered nationalism. Your answer you will write, I'm speaking it slowly so that you can write it carefully. With the development of better means of transport and communication, the people living in faraway places could interact with each other. It helped in mobilizing public opinion on national scale, so that whatever one group is thinking, they can tell to the others. So it helped in mobilizing public opinion on national scale. Moreover, regional feelings disappeared and people felt that they belonged to one nation, because now everybody came to know that they are all dealing with the same problem or same enemy. So that is why that feeling of oneness, belongingness to one nation appeared between the people, among the people. So that is why. Anyways, so the regional feelings disappeared and people felt that they belonged to one nation. Question number 2. State 2 ways in which the introduction of English language fostered nationalism. That is mainly the language of British, English language. How did it impact? So here you will write in 2 points. A point you will write, English language became a language for the people of India, one language for the people of India speaking different languages. B point, it also helped Indians to learn about Western philosophy, thoughts, and institutions. The ideas of the Western world, they were clear to them now, because now they can read and understand the philosophies and doctrines over there. And it became one common language for all the Indians, because now they could understand each other through the medium of English, which was common everywhere in all parts of the country. Question number 3. How did Western education instill national consciousness among the Indians? You will write the answer. Western education helped Western education helped the Indians to inculcate rational, democratic, and secular national outlook. The American and French revolutions inspired the Indians, because now they could read about them, they knew about them as well. So the American and French revolutions inspired the Indians and brought about social and political awareness and national consciousness among the Indians. Question number 4 we will move on to. State one reason for impoverishment of Indian peasantry during the British rule. The answer you will write, the oppressive and land revenue system introduced by the British rendered cultivation uneconomically, which ultimately led to impoverishment of Indian peasantry. Question number 5. State one reason for the decline of cottage industry during the British rule. Here you will write, the British shipped raw materials from India at cheap rates to England and flooded the Indian markets with machine-made goods. And mind it, that was at a lower price, because there were no taxes on the British goods. So that is why flooded the Indian markets with machine-made goods. The products of cottage industry could not match the machine-made goods either in quality or price. Reason behind, the Indian cottage industry products were heavily taxed, and that is why their price was higher. Their quality was not that better, not that good at all in comparison to the machine made goods which were at a cheaper rate. So that is how they totally sabotaged the market. So here you will write, the products of cottage industry could not match the machine made goods either in quality or price. Thus, Indian cottage industry received a rude shock and declined during the British rule. So, cottage industry totally, you can say, it came down, crumbling down, and totally was sabotaged by the British, this particular policy of machine made goods in competition. Question number 6. State one reason for the stagnation of Indian industries during the British rule. Here you will write, the British government took no positive steps to encourage or promote Indian industries. They rather monopolized tea, jute and coffee industries. That is totally under their control and no other competitor. Question number 7. State the evidences that show that the British followed the policy of economic exploitation of India. The answer is, the British subordinated Indian economic interests to subserve the interests of their mother country, that is Britain. They collected land revenue without looking after the welfare of the peasants, obviously of India. They ruined cottage industries of India. The British economic policies led to economic stagnation of India and obviously economic progress of Britain. Question number 8. How did the economic exploitation of India create resentment against the British rule in India? So you will write, the ruthless economic exploitation impoverished all sections of Indian society. This created dissatisfaction and resentment against the alien rule. Alien rule means the foreign rule, the British rule. Question number 9. What was Arms Act? Why was it resented by the Indians? Here you will write, the Arms Act of Lord Lytton of 1878 declared possession of arms without license a crime. Without license a crime, but the Europeans were made an exception. This discrimination was resented by the Indians. I hope you got it clear. So it declared possession of arms without a license as a crime, but only for the Indians. The British were allowed to take it even without a license. Question number 10. What was Ilbert's bill? Why did the English oppose this bill? Here you will write, Ilbert, the law member during the Viceroyalty of Lord Ripon, drafted a bill which sought to endow Indian magistrates, that means magistrates from the Indian origin, Indian magistrates, the authority to try Europeans for criminal offences. Europeans means who can try or who can hear the case of on any particular white person, British, in India. European for criminal offences. The English opposed the bill vehemently as they considered themselves to be racially superior and did not want to be tried by Indians who were considered to be of an inferior race. They thought that how can a brown person hear a case and give punishment to a white person? That is why they opposed this bill, and that showed the real face of their racial discrimination. Question number 11. What was Vernacular Press Act? Why was it resented by the Indians? Here you will write, the Vernacular Press Act, that was also given by Lord Lytton only, the same year, 1878, laid down that the editors of the vernacular newspapers, that means regional language newspapers, were to sign a bond to publish nothing that would create feelings of dissatisfaction against the government. But the English language press was kept outside its purview. That means English language was obviously not under this particular act, because they knew how to read and understand the things that were published in the English paper. But for the regional, they thought that they might be passing on the informations and plans and plotting against them in the regional languages. That is why it was to have to grab the newspapers, or to have a control over this, or to you can say stop this particular thing. That is why this act was passed by Lord Lytton. Question number 12. Mention 3 evidences that show that the British followed a policy of racial discrimination. Here you will write in 3 points. You can simply answer this as, the first point is the act of the Arms Act of Lord Lytton, or by Lord Lytton. Lytton, Lytton. The Arms Act by Lord Lytton. Second is the Vernacular Press Act, obviously again by Lord Lytton. And then the third is the Ilbert Bill controversy. This clearly gave the idea to the Indians that British will never accept Indians equal to them, or any brown person equivalent to a white person in India, till the time they are into the slavery. Question number 13. Name 2 prominent vernacular newspapers of the 19th century. So 2 important are the Kesari and Bande Matram were 2 prominent vernacular newspapers of the 19th century. Next is question number 14. State the contribution of press in fostering nationalism. You will write, the press was the chief instrument, because it has the widest you can say range of spreading the news. It had the widest you can say spread in the entire country. So that is why the press was the chief instrument through which the nationalists spread the message of patriotism and modern economic, social and political ideas, and created an all India consciousness, because till now Indians were not aware of most of the things which were happening in different parts of the country, or what the other people are going through. But now these modern things at that time, they in a way united the people into this feeling of oneness, that we are all going through this entire adverse time together. And that is why they could feel the pain of each other, and they were equally resented. So they decided to come together to fight against the entire mighty enemy as a mighty opposition. Anyways, coming to question number 15. Name 3 socio-religious reform movements and their founders which appeared in the 19th century. Here you will write, first you can write it in points. First is Brahmo Samaj, founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. B point is Arya Samaj, founded by Swami Dayanand Saraswati. And C point is Ram Krishna Mission, founded by Swami Vivekanand. Question number 16. Question 16 is, state 2 ways in which the reform movements of the 19th century created national sentiments among the Indians. Here you will write, the socio-religious reform movements instilled self-respect and self-confidence among the Indians. B point you will write, the reform movements ignited among the Indians the desire for national regeneration on the basis of the best in the past. Question number 17. With this we come to the next question, and that is, name 3 nationalist writers of the 19th century. So among the 3 writers you can write Vishnu Shastri, Subramania Bharati and Altaf Hussain. You can just write the first 2 names so that you have a proper identity and understanding. You don't have to get into the full names and details. You just understand these names. Vishnu Shastri, Subramania Bharati and Altaf Hussain. These were the 3 important writers of the 19th century. Who wrote Anand Mutt? Anand Mutt, the spelling is Anandmath. Anand Mutt. Who wrote it? You will write Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. So Bankim Chandra Chatterjee was the one who wrote Anand Mutt, and that was very you can say profoundly, it got profound fame over there at that time. Very famous book among those that particular time, in that era, you can say. Mention 2 reasons for the resentment of the middle class against the alien rule or the British rule. Here you will write 2 points. First is, the middle class resented the deliberate attempts of the British rulers to keep India perpetually economically weak by treating her as an economic colony. Second point, racial discrimination and lack of opportunities were also resented by the Indians. They were middle class, we are talking, because they were educated, yet they were not given the opportunities. Even though they qualify for those particular services or things, they had the qualifications, yet they were not given the opportunities. That is why they were more resented, because of those weak prospects of jobs and opportunities for them in different spheres. Question number 20. Question 20 is, when and why was the Landholders Society formed? Here you will write, the Landholders Society was formed in 1837 to safeguard the interests of the landlords of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Please, when you are doing the answers for history in your boards, such names which are whatever the names were there at that time, use them only. Like for Madras, use Madras. You don't have to use Chennai over there. For Orissa, you have to use Orissa. Don't write Odisha. And similarly, various other names. You can change the names only when you're talking about the present thing. But when you're talking about the past, about the history, you will always write the names which were prevalent at that time, or whatever the names were at that time. Okay. Moving to the next question, that is question 21. When was Bombay Association formed? These are just one-line answers, one-word answers. Please, you can note them down quickly. It is, Bombay Association was formed in 1852. Next question. When and by whom was the East India Association in London formed? Here you will write, East India Association in London was formed by Dadabhai Naroji in 1866. Please get the names of the places, of the acts and treaties, and the dates, the years very clear. Otherwise, with slight one number change and the entire answer becomes wrong. It is Dadabhai Naroji in 1866, East India Association in London. Question number 23. When and by whom was Pune Sarvajanik Sabha formed? Here you will write, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha was formed by Justice Ranade and others in 1870. Question 24. When and by whom was the Indian Association of Calcutta formed? Here you will write, Indian Association of Calcutta was formed in 1876 by Surendranath Banerjee. You can also write him as S.N. Banerjee or Surendranath Banerjee. Next is question number 25. Question 25. When and by whom was the Indian National Congress founded? Here you will write, Indian National Congress was founded by A.O. Hume, H-U-M-E, in 1885. Question number 26. Explain the safety valve theory regarding the foundation of the Indian National Congress. What is the safety valve theory? Here it is. It was earlier believed that A.O. Hume founded the Indian National Congress to act as an outlet for the ever-increasing popular discontent against the British rule, so that people can pass on their problems and things to British through them, and British could have a control over the Indians through the instrument called Indian National Congress. Next is question number 27. State the reason which prompted the nationalist leaders to cooperate with Hume in the establishment of the Indian National Congress. Here you will write, the Indian nationalists readily cooperated with Hume in the establishment of Indian National Congress to avoid official hostility at an early stage of their political work. Question number 28. State two factors that necessitated the formation of an All India organization in 1885. The two factors in A and B point you will write. A point, the need to promote a sense of nationalism, and B point you will write, to create an All India platform to fight for the rights of the Indians. Question number 29. Name the place where the first session of Indian National Congress was held. This you will write Bombay. Don't write Mumbai, write Bombay on 28th December 1885. Question number 30. Name the first president of the Indian National Congress. So the first president of Indian National Congress was W.C. Banerjee. So with these, we are done with the important questions, revision questions of your chapter Growth of Nationalism. These 30 questions are good enough for you to have an even better understanding and preparation of this chapter. Please do write them and do go through these question answers, learning them, understanding them for your boards. All the best. With this, we come to the end of the session. Have a great day.